My girlfriend likes being playful and messing with me, but I don't. This might sound dumb, but I thought I'd post anyway. So I recently started dating someone and she is a very playful person. She likes messing with me. To give some examples, tickling me, putting her cold hands inside my shirt, throwing berries at me outside, going in for a kiss and then putting her tongue out instead, etc. I know she's just being playful and cute, but I really hate when she does those things. I don't know what it is, but it really annoys and even upsets me. For context, we are 22 female and 27 female, and she is not immature by any means. Just playful. Is that normal? Is it normal for me not to be like that? I'm not that serious of a person and even mess with her in other ways like joking around, but never anything physical like she does. Am I just not a playful person? Is it something I need to work on or get used to? Or can I tell her to stop? Or are we just not compatible because of that? We're compatible in nearly every other way, get along great, and love each other, so I don't want to break up just because of this. Please no hate. Any helpful advice is appreciated. Slightly smiling face. Too long did not read. My girlfriend does playful things that I don't like. Is it incompatibility or can I tell her to stop? Are there any examples of her playfulness that don't annoy you? You may be able to articulate what specifically bothers you if you can narrow down the causes by ruling out things that don't. It's also worth considering whether you know, or whether she can tell you, how she's hoping for you to respond in these situations. These all feel like things intended to get a reaction, and if you either don't understand or don't feel able to make the expected next move in the game she's trying to initiate, that's no fun. If you can figure out what she expects to happen next after she throws berries at you, on the other hand, maybe that won't bother you in the same way. Just tell her this. Relationship is about communication, and how is she supposed to know that you don't like these things when you don't tell her? It's okay to set boundaries. I don't like to be tickled, physically uncomfortable, and I don't like practical jokes. Mean-spirited teasing and being the butt of a joke is too close to bullying, but I love to be silly and playful. Just talk to her about what you prefer. Also remember her intent is presumably to show love and affection. Something to think about. Could it be about the timing of it? When I'm tired, hungry, stressed, grumpy, I am not in the mood for my wife's playful shit. Other times it's fun, and sometimes it is only tolerable and I can put up with it. Over time, I think she learns about my rhythms and receptivity. If you figure out this is the case for you, then it is on you to sensitively and strategically communicate this to her at the right time. You sound incompatible. I love to be playful, it brings great joy to my life, and wouldn't want to be with someone who didn't enjoy that. Do you have any idea why you dislike this? How does it make you feel? Were you an only child? Were you playful as a child with other children? Were you bullied? Man, that's a keeper. The fact that Shush is more a playful type is amazing. I'm playful like your GF. My partner thinks it's adorable and smiles a lot when I do it. I don't think you deserve hate, but sadly I think you just aren't compatible if that annoys you. That's just who I am, I can't change. I would feel very sad trying to. I'd say I'm also more playful than my wife. In particular, there's a couple ways that I like to be playful that she really dislikes, so I have since stopped those ones. But little goofy things to lighten a mood aren't for everyone, I guess. Some people are also just more sensitive to things that are startling, like the tickling stuff. Are there any ways of being silly or goofy like that you do like, maybe ones that don't include you being made physically uncomfortable, cold from the hands, or feeling icked by the tongue thing, which I also used to do to my now wife? She told me she dislikes it, so I don't do that one anymore. Maybe like, going in for a kiss but then kissing the tip of your nose instead. My brain is not functioning to think of other trades, lol. You've gotten a lot of great advice here, so I just want to say that I'd feel the same way about this. Don't feel too weird about it. She's absolutely not doing anything wrong and neither are you. You can diplomatically find a way to compromise, I'm sure. To me it's the bait and switch plus physicality of it. Being touched when I was not expecting it bothers me. Tickling, as well as going in for one thing, a kiss, and getting another, a lick to the face. I set boundaries with my partner about this, so we know now that this kind of play is not accepted, but brutal roasting is absolutely fine and on the table. It's all about communication. Hoping your conversation goes well. I have a feeling that you don't have siblings, am I right? Have you asked her not to do those things? There are many ways to maintain a goofy and silly personality while still being respectful of your wishes and sensibilities. Just ask her to stop. I used to think it was hilarious to stick my finger in my husband's mouth whenever he yawned. He hated it so much he would try to stifle yawns around me. When he told me that I stopped, although I do still think about doing it from time to time and get a good giggle. I don't think you're incompatible, you just need to set some boundaries. Have a conversation with her, explain why you don't like it, and then ask if there's anything that she would like to address. Just because she thinks it's fun doesn't mean you have to subject yourself to it. That's how resentment grows in a relationship. You shouldn't be afraid to communicate you don't like something. Now if she can't respect it, then that would be another issue entirely. Don't let her use the excuse of, "Oh, I forgot." Slip-ups will happen in the first couple of weeks, but usually a person apologizes sincerely and tries to make up for it, and will eventually remember. I would suggest looking at something like the 5 love languages as a way to discuss this. My first thought is that one of her primary ways of expressing love is physical touch, and she's turned it into a playful activity to make it fun and no pressure. But it doesn't feel that way to you, which is valid. If this is true, she may be able to change how she seeks physical affection into a way you two can connect. These are not cute personality traits, if they're happening all of the time. They're annoying habits. It sounds like she is avoiding intimate moments by being playful, to keep you at a distance. First off, communicate with her that you don't find these funny or cute. And ask her, nicely, to please stop. If the behavior continues or she says it's just who she is, then you need to decide if this is something you can put up with in a potential partner. Or if you need to end things before they go any further. You really sound like you need to get over yourself. You're almost 30 posting about your inability to enjoy playfulness in your partner. I think you need to reevaluate some things. Perhaps you just aren't compatible. She's fun and playful with her boyfriend, which is for the most part, pretty normal. It's not fair for her to have to change her personality and young spirit. Equally okay you don't like having a playful girlfriend. One of you is going to be upset in this situation, so, something to consider. I personally would find someone like you boring. I love being weird. It's my love language. You're allowed to not like it, but maybe you need someone less bubbly. You're not wrong, just incompatible with her. I hate playful crap like that too, and that's why I don't date people who are like that. You deserve to be with someone who doesn't annoy you, and she deserves someone who's into her playful shit. If you want to change something about her that you don't like, what are you willing to change about yourself that she may not like about you? Just saying don't go out here trying to change someone when that's who they are as a person. If you don't like what they do, then you guys are not compatible. Find someone else who's not playful like you. I don't think either of you are in the wrong for liking or not liking. I don't think that makes you not playful. You're just not the same kind of playful. Yes, you can tell her to stop if you're not comfortable. Are you sure you truly want to be your GF? I found that I got annoyed partners I really didn't want to be with when they did playful things. I would get irritated. My husband does things like this and I love it because I love him. Maybe reevaluate the entire relationship. This isn't normal. You are incompatible in that area. Here's the deal. People do not get to touch other people in ways that make them unhappy. Full stop. It doesn't matter if your girlfriend grew up with siblings and parents that cheerfully tortured each other. It doesn't matter if she doesn't mind if someone does it to her. It doesn't matter if some other people don't mind. She does not get to do it to you. So now she gets to decide if she is willing to rein in this playful behavior or not. But you don't need to accept it. You need to find a more rigid mate. This one is likely to leave you if she feels you find her annoying anyway. She sounds like she making you miserable. There is a world of grammar teachers, human resource, and accounting types just waiting for you. Best to set her free and let another man that enjoys playful spirits her company. I guarantee you the line is already forming. It sounds like you don't like her. Could it be she's shy and this is how she signals she wants to have sex? Like she doesn't have the confidence to grab your dick, but this is a way to do it without rejection. Just a thought. I had the same thing with my boyfriend is a jokester and loves to fake scare or play mild pranks. I kept telling him I don't like that, it's not my style, but he didn't really get it until I explained to him that he is my partner and I don't want to feel like I am on edge around him all the time, never knowing when the next prank is coming. I want to feel safe around him, like I can always trust that he will be a calm space for me. He got the message. I just had to explain the why. He doesn't prank me anymore and I am so much happier. Just tell her that the jokes, pranks aren't your style and clearly explain why she'll either adjust or she won't. Then you'll know. My wife used to poke my tongue whenever I yawned. It took me a while to tell her I fucking hated it lol. She stopped. It's okay to be upfront about things that you don't like, even if they're small and feel silly. I too hate that shit. I've found that people who like messing always will, even when you ask and tell them not to. And sometimes when you ask them to stop, they just keep doing it. I have no advice, just solidarity. It is okay for you not to like something. You need to talk to her about it. I really don't like to be touched that much. I don't think there is any deep root to it. It is just the way I am. It could be just the way you are, and you need to make her understand you don't like it. Neither of you are wrong, just have different ways of expressing yourself. You're not wrong to not want her to do certain things to you. Sit down, calmly, and specifically give her examples of what you don't like. The reason is irrelevant, you don't like it. Period. Set a boundary and ask her to respect it. If she won't, then she has bigger issues that need to be addressed. It doesn't matter what the personal boundary is or why you want it, but failure to respect it is a huge red flag. It sounds like you just aren't compatible, because this is part of her personality and you just don't like it. It's pretty clear cut. I, 25 female, am with a guy, 25 male, who I love to bits but we're much the same. I like to do little pestery things and jokes, whereas he doesn't do that at all. The best thing for us was talking about it, no surprise there. If you think of your threshold for being picked on as a meter for the week, it's helpful. Like for us, I haven't stopped being a pest and he hasn't started being one, but instead I may only be a pest 1 or 3 times a week as opposed to every day, and with most things being very minimal annoyances. This works better for us because I can still express myself in one way, without making him feel overwhelmed by me doing these things too much. Relationships often involve compromise, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I agree with simply incompatible. But it is somewhat concerning that she persists when you've said no. Plus, you shouldn't need to ask Reddit about what your personal boundaries should be. My mom liked to put cold hands on us, and sometimes it was funny and sometimes it was excruciating. Yeah, I dislike this humor too. It's instantly annoying and some parts make me feel like an idiot. For example, going in for a kiss but licking me instead, like, I am being lovey-dovey and vulnerable and you lick me, EW. I'm not sure how you can manage it other than talking to her about it. That's how me and my BFF both are with our boyfriends. We tickle, we pull tongues, we tease each other. I personally find it one of the best parts of being in a relationship, be able to just be silly with this other person that you love so much. A lot of your examples seem like situations where you're physically surprised by some kind of sensation. Sudden cold touches or tickles, small objects hitting you, unexpectedly wet tongue instead of lips. Maybe it's the being taken off guard that is unpleasant. We all have different comfort zones with our personal space. It could just be a matter of learning which playful actions would elicit the response she's hoping for, and puzzling out the common theme of what you like versus don't like could help with that. It's sweet that you are using all these positive words to describe her, but she doesn't sound playful to me. She sounds incredibly annoying, bordering on manipulative and controlling. I really hate practical jokes like this. They are never fun or funny to me. You can tell her to stop. Were you teased or bullied as a child? It sounds annoying as fuck. Yeah, you are not the only one who doesn't like this. Be specific with her. I'm very silly with my partners. Past partners have overall been really annoyed with my silliness and it gutted me. My current partner though is very specific about it and has boundaries which work great. I.e., no cold hands on the stomach is a hard boundary. Clammy hands on their face, hard boundary. Doing voices while they're working, hard boundary. You can play her game though. If she throws a berry at you, smile and say, you get one more, use it wisely, or something cheeky that shuts it down. A lot of people are saying that's her personality and it's sad to ask her to stop being like that. But I mean, you don't need her to stop being like that, but to stop doing it in direct physical ways to your body, which is totally fair. You absolutely don't have to accept being tickled or cold startled if you don't like it. She can see if there's other ways she can express that part of her personality that don't make you physically uncomfortable. Otherwise it's an issue of consent and boundaries. I will also say that I hate that shit and could not be with someone who felt a need to do it directly to me. Like, do it out into the world, sure, but not targeting my body. Please tell her that you don't like it. Tell her how it makes you feel. Tell her how you react when she does these things. She deserves to know the truth, and you deserve to know how she is going to react to you setting boundaries with her. If she doesn't respect the boundaries, or if she shames you for setting them, then you have learned an incredibly valuable thing about this person you are in a relationship with. As others have said, there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. And there's nothing wrong with you not liking it. But you need to communicate your needs to her, and she needs to either respect it, or leave you to find someone that will respect it. Good luck. Have you expressed previously that these things bother you? I mean, if you tell her that the cold hands trick is not fun, or that when she goes in for a kiss you expect a kiss, not a practical joke, and she keeps doing it, that's a problem. See if you all can have a positive discussion on boundaries and find a good compromise. My partner loves to joke around, like Louvre's to joke around. It isn't really my personality to banter back and forth like that. We had to have a talk about jokes that are off limits for me, and what's okay to joke about. For myself, I agreed to try and meet her halfway and joke around with her because she does it when she's anxious, and the back and forth helps relieve her anxiety. It's been a good setup so far. Definitely an option to try and find a middle ground. How frequently is she doing this? It is normal to not like that kind of stuff, I wouldn't either. You need to be honest for a relationship to work. I like joking around and being playful with you, but I don't like when the humor is physical. Give the specific examples. Physical humor does not feel good to me. She may adjust, and things will get better. She may not be willing to adjust, then you either have to deal with it or break up. I understand that outcome is scary, but you have to be honest. If you aren't honest now, you're going to build resentment, and she will eventually sense that. Better to be upfront now, than for her to find out later and wonder why you never told her something so simple.